I'm Kendra Cook, your host for the DCTV Daily News program out of Dove Creek, Colorado. The Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest Colorado TV Translator Association. That's the special district association responsible for bringing the area free-to-access TV stations over the air by antenna. This is a community TV station. If there's a news story or event information that you would like to share, you can call us. It's 970-677-4119. And if you're a business or organization, we welcome you to find out about sponsorship opportunities for banners or video segments run on the channel. This is the Wednesday program for July 1st, 2020. Rabbit, rabbit. DCTV Daily News. So we made it to July 2020, halfway through the year, which seems to have gone by quickly in one sense and dragged on forever in another. Odd times. We'll start with the political news of the day in a vote that should capture the attention of those outside of the western slope of Colorado as well. Primaries 2020 are in the books, and in Colorado, the District 3 challenger, Lauren Boebert, knocks off five-term incumbent Representative Scott Tipton for the general election Republican ticket. From the Pine River Times with a photo, Jerry McBride. Lauren Boebert delivered a stunning upset victory, knocking off five-time incumbent U.S. Representative Scott Tipton, a Republican who hails from Cortez, in Colorado's 3rd U.S. congressional district in the Colorado primary election on Tuesday night. Boebert, who gained notoriety by openly wearing a pistol holstered to her thigh, has attacked the incumbent from the right for not standing up forcefully to object to left-wing members of the U.S. House, such as Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. According to unofficial results from the Colorado Secretary of State's website, as of 9:55 p.m., Boebert had 55,237 votes, or 54.38% of the vote, compared with 46,340 votes, or 45.62% of the vote for Tipton. As of 9:45 p.m., the La Plata County Clerk and Recorder's website gave Tipton the lead in the county with 3,175 votes, or 54.67%, compared with 2,633 votes, or 45.33% for Boebert. In Montezuma County, with results reported as of 9 p.m., Tipton led in his own home county by only 256 votes, with Tipton claiming 2,999, or 52%, compared with Boebert's 2,743, or 47.8%. Here in Dolores County, Boebert eked out a win over Tipton at 295 to 253 votes. Boebert did much of her work in Mesa County, the most populous vote center in the 3rd Congressional District. Mesa County results reported at 9 p.m. last night gave Boebert 18,320 votes, or 64.34%, and Tipton had 10,153, or 35.6%. Quote, "I entered into this race to represent the people, and I have spoken with thousands of people myself, so I feel like I have an even better gauge on where my constituents are," Boebert said on Tuesday before results had come in. "And I also go into this to drain the swamp and disrupt politics as usual. And draining the swamp starts right here at home. It doesn't start in D.C." In the Democratic race, as of 9:30 p.m., party veteran Diane Mitch Bush had a wide lead with 59,531 votes, or 61.15% of the vote, to newcomer James Iacino's 38,187, or 38.19% of the vote. Just after 9 p.m., Tipton conceded the race, issuing a brief email statement, quote, "3rd District Republicans have decided who they want to run against the Democrats this November. I want to congratulate Lauren Boebert and wish her and her supporters well," end quote. Boebert had boasted about her potential to upset Tipton after claiming the top spot on the primary ballot in the 3rd Congressional District Assembly, held virtually because of COVID-19 restrictions. Quote, "This absolutely is important and indicative of where the voters are. This doesn't happen very frequently. We put a five-term incumbent on the bottom of the ballot," Boebert said. The delegates who vote to do their research before they decided who they want at the top of the ballot. These are people who are committed with their time, their efforts, and often financially for their candidate, and I think it's a great sign, she said. Boebert owns Shooter's Grill in Rifle, Colorado, where servers also open carry. Garfield County had issued a 30-day suspension of the restaurant's license in mid-May after Boebert served customers in defiance of a state public health order and a court injunction. Boebert said that she was raised in a Democratic household and became a self-taught Republican conservative through her life experiences. She has never held public office. Boebert had opened the restaurant, serving customers in outdoor seating, to protest the public health order in Colorado that she said unfairly targeted small businesses like her restaurant for closure while allowing big box retailers to remain open. Boebert said she was especially grateful for the hard work her volunteers put in against a well-funded incumbent. Quote, "I have the best volunteers that I could have asked for, and there's nothing else that I would have changed," she said. "We have gone at this with everything that we have. There's nothing but passion, enthusiasm, and excitement every single day. Anytime a challenge comes up, my volunteers and I push harder, and I'm just really grateful for all of their dedication and all of their hard work." Boebert will be running against Diane Mitch Bush, who won that Democratic primary to represent District 3 in Congress on the fall ballot November 3rd. And now let's take a look at that local weather and see where we may have a slight chance for some moisture. So for today, it's sunny with a high near 80 degrees. South-southwest winds at just 10 to 15 miles an hour. And for tonight, we're looking for clear skies and a low around 51 with south-southwest winds 10 to 15 miles an hour becoming southeast after midnight. And this ends much of the cooler weather we've had. And unfortunately, you're looking at a lightning strike for possibility on Friday this week. For Thursday, we're looking for another sunny day with a high near 83 degrees with south-southeast winds around 10 miles an hour becoming southwest in the afternoon. Thursday night, mostly clear with a low around 55. South-southwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour becoming light and variable in the evening. And then into that Friday, we're looking for somewhere between 20 and 30% chance for showers and thunderstorms, and that would be probably in the afternoon. Mostly sunny with a high near 86 degrees. Fortunately, mostly calm winds becoming west-southwest at 5 miles an hour in the afternoon, but do keep your eyes out for any potential fires getting started with the potential lightning strikes. Friday night, partly cloudy and a low around 56 degrees. Saturday, July 4th for Independence Day, we're looking for a beautiful sunny day with a high near 87. Saturday night, mostly clear and a low around 57. And then into Sunday, sunny again with a high near 89. Sunday night, mostly clear and a low around 58. For Monday, sunny with a high near 90. Monday night, mostly clear with a low around 56. So we're going to warm back up after the storm comes in. And now, back to our news. Some more politics on the state level. John Hickenlooper wins Colorado's Democratic Senate primary over Romanoff. The chieftains reported on the primary outcome of the U.S. Senate race here in Colorado, with former Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper winning the Democratic nomination on Tuesday to face Republican Senator Cory Gardner in November, overcoming a series of stumbles and beating back a challenge from his left. Hickenlooper's defeat of former Colorado House Speaker Andrew Romanoff snaps the Democratic left's surge that started earlier this month in a New York City race where a black middle school teacher declared victory over Representative Elliot Engel before the results of mail-in ballots were released. Romanoff is a former moderate who turned himself into a populist, running against the moderate favorite of the Democratic establishment and promising a Green New Deal and single-payer health care. But he could not overcome both Hickenlooper's immense financial edge, the former governor outraised Romanoff by about 7 to 1, and his deep name ID and reservoir of goodwill among voters stemming from 2 terms in the governor's mansion. That's why Senate Democrats recruited Hickenlooper to take on Gardner, widely seen as the most vulnerable Republican in the Senate, because Colorado has shifted so much to the left, at least around Denver. For a brief moment during the primary, it looked like that shift combined with striking missteps by Hickenlooper might give Romanoff a chance. Hickenlooper defied a subpoena from the state's Independent Ethics Commission over Republican charges that he violated the ethics law by taking private flights and car trips as governor. A self-made millionaire, Hickenlooper had said that he'd happily testify in person in the case but refused to appear virtually until a judge rejected his attempt to squash the subpoena, and the commission found him in contempt. The commission found Hickenlooper had violated the law in 1 flight and 1 limousine trip at the secretive Bilderberg meetings in Rome. Then, amid the protests over police violence against black people, Hickenlooper garbled the meaning of the slogan Black Lives Matter. The following week, an African-American Romanoff supporter tweeted a 6-year-old video of Hickenlooper jokingly comparing politicians to slaves being whipped to row, quote, an ancient slave ship. The combination of the gaffes and setbacks was enough to lure Republicans to launch millions of dollars in ads attacking Hickenlooper. Democrats responded with defensive ads, and Romanoff then jumped in and added his own attack ad versus the former governor. Colorado's Democratic establishment, from Governor Jared Polis to Senator Michael Bennet, condemned Romanoff for the move. Then, days later, a big money group that will not disclose its donors launched a $1 million ad campaign slamming Romanoff for spearheading an anti-illegal immigrant bill in 2006. Romanoff has since apologized for the bill. Republicans hope that Hickenlooper has been banged up enough to give Gardner a chance in the November election. Though Colorado has turned sharply against Trump, Gardner hopes to portray himself as a hardworking senator who fights for his home state, in contrast to Hickenlooper, who the GOP sees as hapless and driven by his ego. Democrats, however, contend that Hickenlooper surviving the primary shows that voters don't view him like a standard politician and trust him deeply. Meanwhile, they plan to tie Gardner closely to Trump, who is unpopular in the state. Again, at least in the Denver area. No Republican has won a statewide election in Colorado since 2014, when Gardner won by less than 2 percentage points in a strong year for Republicans. Hickenlooper was reelected as governor that year by a wider margin. It's going to be an exciting year coming into the November 3rd elections. And unfortunately, though our area fires are beginning to be controlled, it's been a tough couple of days south of us on the Navajo Nation. The Wood Springs 2 fire, that's the number 2, burning on the Navajo Nation has burned more than 5,000 acres and remains at 0% containment as of Tuesday afternoon. Updated in the Journal with Photo Bureau of Indian Affairs Navajo Region Fire Management. The lightning-caused fire was first detected last Saturday, according to Bureau of Indian Affairs Navajo Region Fire Management. Southwest Incident Management Team 5 took over command of the fire early Tuesday morning. During a virtual briefing to the Navajo Nation, President Jonathan Nez on Tuesday, the Southwest Incident Team reported that the fire was at 5,816 acres and 0% contained. Firefighters were going for full suppression as the fire chewed through pinyon, juniper, and pine vegetation. No structures have been damaged, fortunately, and no injuries were reported as of Tuesday. The fire was sparked near Wood Springs, Arizona, in the northeast corner of the state. On Sunday evening, the fire was reported to be around 300 acres, but by Monday afternoon, with all those winds, it had exploded to more than 3,000 acres. It was fueled by 40 to 50 mile-an-hour winds out of the southwest. Fire activity on Monday was described as, quote, extreme, with 200-foot flame lengths as a result of the intense winds. That, according to the Southwest Incident Team's Tuesday's briefing. The winds, which helped spur the fast fire growth, were calmer on Tuesday. The response team anticipated 4 to 6-foot flame lengths throughout that day. Nez issued road closures and evacuations for residents. Navajo Route 7 from Sawmill to Chinle and Wood Springs, and Navajo Route 26 between Nazlini and Sawmill were closed on Monday. The fire jumped Navajo Route 26 around midday on Monday and continued to spread northeast towards Navajo Route 7. First responders were evacuating residents who were in immediate danger. Nez said that the communities of Sawmill and Fluted Rock were told to be on high alert for possible evacuation orders by Tuesday afternoon. Quote, all residents in the area must be very cautious, and we ask that everyone cooperate with the emergency responders, especially if you are asked to evacuate from your residence. We are working with the BIA and chapters to provide relief and places of shelter for displaced residents, Nez said. Monday, he said, we must also remain diligent and mindful of the risk posed by COVID-19 as we address this wildfire, end quote. The fire created hazy skies in Farmington and all the way to Durango on Monday. Smoke traveled northeast by Tuesday. The fire area includes multiple communities, power lines, sheep camps, and cultural and historical sites, which firefighters are working hard to protect, the Southwest Incident Management Team said in its Tuesday afternoon report. Our prayers and hopes for that to get contained as soon as possible. And today's High Canyon Country happenings and news briefs. The BLM implements Stage 1 fire restrictions in Tres Rios field office. And of course, here we are talking about the Bureau of Land Management, for decades known simply as the BLM. Stage 1 fire restrictions begin July 1st for all Bureau of Land Management BLM public lands administered by the Tres Rios field office within the boundaries of Archuleta, Dolores, La Plata, Montezuma, Montrose, and San Miguel counties, including Canyon of the Ancients National Monument. The restrictions align with local orders and guidelines to protect the safety of the public during high fire danger. Under Stage 1 fire restrictions, campfires are only allowed within designated fire grates in developed campgrounds, i.e. a metal in-ground containment structure, fire pans, and rock campfire rings are not acceptable. No fires of any type, including charcoal, outside of developed areas. No smoking except within an enclosed vehicle or building, a developed recreation site, or in a barren area free of vegetation. No use of explosive materials, including explosive targets. No welding or operation of an acetylene or other similar torch with open flame except from an area that has been cleared of vegetation. No operation of any internal combustion engine without a spark arresting device properly installed and in working order. Stage 1 fire restrictions on these lands will be in place until further notice. Violation of federal fire restrictions is punishable by a fine of not more than $100,000 or imprisonment for not more than 12 months or both. Those found responsible for starting wildfires will also face restitution costs of suppressing the fire. Fireworks are always prohibited on public lands, and for any and more information about fire prevention, go online to their site at blm.gov. And note, Dolores County remains in the open fire burn ban at this time. The situation is continuously being monitored to determine if an increase in restrictive level needs to be announced, and as soon as we hear, we'll share it here on DCTV. And in other news briefs, you've probably already heard that Governor Polis has determined the need to revert the bar and nightclub openings back to how they were a couple of weeks ago, closed except for takeout. He announced this at a press conference yesterday. Restaurants that serve food and alcohol will remain open with the same capacity and standards previously issued from the governor's office. He's also considering moving the state into a new phase named Protect Our Neighbor. Safer at Home is set to expire July 20th. Protect Our Neighbors means that communities that meet certain criteria have less stringent restrictions than under Stay at Home and Safer at Home. Communities may permit activities at 50% of pre-pandemic capacity with at least 6 feet between non-household members and no more than 500 people in one setting at a time. Communities that can demonstrate strong public health and healthcare systems paired with low virus levels should take on more control of their own reopening plans. Now, that's a breath of fresh air right there. Strong local public health and health care systems are the key to reopening the economy, the press release continues. Different communities will be at different phases based on local conditions and capabilities. Counties must qualify by meeting scientifically established thresholds of low disease transmission levels, capacity for testing, case investigation, contact tracing, and outbreak response, and hospital ability to meet the needs of all patients and handle the surge in demand for intensive hospital care. In addition, communities must have mitigation and containment plans approved by local elected leaders, including county commissioners and mayors, the hospitals that serve the county, law enforcement, emergency management, the local public health director, and, if applicable, tribes. With all of this in mind, this Saturday is July 4th, the celebration of the independence for the United States of America. Look for local notices as to a parade, aka peaceful assembly, on Saturday morning. Locals, fireworks display thanks to donations to the DCVFD, and a red, white, and blue live music concert by Crossroads at the patio of the state line on Saturday from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m., presented by the DC Chamber. Please be respectful of others and continue to be mindful of washing hands and staying healthy as we head into the long weekend, with many relatives having come to town as well. Dolores County remains at 0 cases as of this broadcast. And I post up links to more stories of interest like this on the Facebook page, which is DCTV Daily News. You can also watch the program replay there, along with the news links and stories of local interest. And you too can share other events or news there and join in on the conversation. This is your local community TV station, so if you have something that you would like to share, contact us. The email is dcbnnews, that's for Dolores County Broadcasting Network, dcbnnews@gmail.com, or you can call us and leave a message on the phone, which is 970-677-4119. Thanks for tuning in to DCTV Daily News. Programs are broadcast Monday through Friday with replays online on our YouTube channel or DCTV Daily News page on Facebook. And if you like the program, please do like and follow us on Facebook and share it with your friends and family. This has been a production of DCTV for the DCTV Daily News program out of Dove Creek, Colorado, USA. I'm Kendra Cook. Again, thank you for watching.